Welcome! I'm Hazel, local silly dog who does the art thing. Today, we'll be doing a quick overview of how I made my Vtuber model. The goal of this video is to show my own creative process while also giving you all a quick TLDR on the things that go into creating 2D Vtuber models. This is not a step-by-step tutorial, but a look into how things work for those who may be new to the VTubing medium, might just be curious about how all this works, or maybe you just wanted to see how I made my model specifically. Before we get this moving, a quick disclaimer. This video will be primarily showing how I made my current model, but many artists may handle things differently. Most comments I make will be describing the general process and what makes a 2D model typically. But again, I'll be using my own process to show these things. Now, I'll be breaking this process into 3 separate steps: character concepting and design, the model art, and live 2D rigging. Those are the 3 main processes that normally go into a model. You design your character, make or commission the model art, and then get that baby rigged to move. Either doing it yourself or commissioning a rig artist to rig the art for you. If you aren't familiar with live 2D rigging, I'll get into what that is when we reach that step. For your own reference, the programs I use are Clip Studio Paint for drawing, Live 2D Cubism is a must for rigging, and Vtube Studio is what my model is actually used in and where my face tracking is done. So, my character design. This cute little puppy you see before you is not my OG Vtuber design, but a very recent and long-planned redesign / rebrand. To make a Vtuber, you obviously need a character design. I make all of my own model art and always have, so Hazel as a whole is a long-standing original character of mine. Normally, when I start a Vtuber, I sketch a design out based on a concept or idea along with inspo pictures and mood boards, then sketch until something fits. When designing a Vtuber, your design will carry your image, brand, character idea, and normally sell the concept you are going for to your viewers. Hazel originally was a comfy plant fae when I was in my peak casual cottagecore era. Then a court mage, we did an AU design at one point, and my design kinda got complicated at this point. So I went back to something more simple, comfy, and cozy for this design. And we threw some dog in there because I wanted to move away from the whole elf / fae thing. When designing this form, I took from all of my old designs, as well as some beta puppy designs from a separate project. If you know, you know, and then mashed them into a design that was reminiscent of my favorite old design features while still making something new. Why I decided to be a dog now was also based on my persona. The fact that I got that dog in me, and that being a silly little dog boy is just a personality trait for me even outside of VTubing. But once I had a solid idea, I got to work actually drawing the final design, ref sheet, and then the model art itself, which was the longest part of this process for me. For those unfamiliar with how 2D models work, or really how the art works, model art is made up of tons of individual layers. Think of them as an image for each moving part. Those images are layered on top of each other and separated so that they can move independently. A simple way to put it is every single part you want to move, effects you want to have, needs to be its own layer. Vtuber models can end up being hundreds of layers or images depending on complexity, how many toggles or effects someone wishes to have, and how detailed the rig is planned to be. More complex elements and movement needs more detailed separation of layers. My model is over 250 individual layers, which for some, that's a pretty average layer count, but it's still a lot to make move when we get to rigging. After my sketch, I start to break down and render each section of the model, keeping each part I know needs to be separated on its own layer or in its own folder while I work. I will map out a layer with a line, fill it, and then render it section by section to keep things organized. Once every layer is done, then I do my extras and toggles. Lastly, I do my least favorite part. I draw most of my models symmetrically, but when making a model, you need all parts separated. This means if a layer contains something that is double on the left and right side, you need to split those layers up and separate them for left and right. Example, my eyes. They have an upper lash line, lower lash line, the iris, the white of the eye, eyebrows, etc. I have 2 of those, right? My right eye and my left eye. I need to make sure everything that is on the left side is separated from the right side. so I can make those layers move independently when I add motion. If they are on the same layer, they won't work. Same for arms and legs, hair, ears, all that stuff. You make an arm right side and an arm left side. I hope that makes sense. The only time this doesn't happen is like if a layer is one solid piece, like the actual skin of the face or the neck or so. Stuff that doesn't need two sides. For a more detailed explanation of Vtuber model art cutting, I highly recommend Kira Amori's tutorial on how to cut/separate Vtubers for utter beginners. Links to any recommendations like this will be in the description. If you have ever wondered why Vtuber model art itself is also so expensive, these separations and levels of details contribute a lot to that cost. Once the model is done, all the layers are separated and ready to go, we move into live 2D rigging. This is how Vtubers like mine are made to move. Using a program called Live 2D Cubism, we can load in our model PSD into the program and get it moving. Each layer will be moved, warped, manipulated, and keyframed so that it simulates dynamic movement. We shift and change the images into different shapes or directions to make it look like it moves believably as you turn your face side to side, up and down, and so on. This is done with a technique known as tweening. It uses one set point and simulates what movement to another set point looks like. Each part of the model will be rigged to move in whatever ways the rig artist wants it to. The rigging will make my flat images look more 3D so that it moves with me when face tracking is applied. Live 2D rigging is its own art form in itself, and it can be a very complex process to learn. Every rig artist also develops their own style of rigging too. But luckily, the Live 2D community is ripe with amazing and easy to follow tutorials. I would not have been able to rig this model without the step-by-step guide made by Merely Wu Fei. Her rigging series provides simple to follow guides and lots of great details on learning about the rigging process. It's hard to explain everything that goes into this, but I just rig the body top to bottom. Eyes, mouth, head, hair, accessories, body, clothes, extras, then toggles. You rig the general movements, adjusting and moving things until it fits, trusting the process, and then you slap physics on everything and pray. Then cry when you have to re-rig a mouth 10 times, have a breakdown, and finish that sucker. I'm not speaking from experience, I swear. Then, once it's all ready to move, we set it all up in Vtube Studio. This program is the actual live tracking and projection of my model. Inside this program, I set up things like sensitivities for how it tracks my face, turning on and off expressions, and everything else I want to do with the actual model. And that's kinda it. All you need is a character design, time and will to learn, preparation for the meltdown that comes with rigging, and a whole lot of willpower. Or if this isn't a process you want to tackle yourself, there's tons of amazing pre-made 2D models out there and artists waiting to bring your vision to life. Thanks for watching. While this is just a TLDR, I hope you learned something from this video and enjoyed it.